bullshit, Gracie. Yeah, Darren Kwan's gonna be there, so for anybody who's a big Darren Kwan and Friends fan.
It's a former student of mine.
I do.
See the guitar player?
Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'll call this regular school board meeting of Independent School District 544 to order. And with that, I'll turn to the clerk for a quorum.
Okay. Kirby Anderson.
Present.
Kelly Graff.
Here.
Jenny Christensen.
Present.
Missy Hermes, present. Melanie Cole.
Here.
Stephen Vigasa.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion on the agenda? All in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. The agenda is approved. We have one resolution on acknowledgements, and that is to thank Dorn and Company, Service Food, The Market, and American Legion Post 30 for their donations to the MAP Stars at the Area Learning Center for student expenses at the state MAP Stars conference. I'll offer that resolution and move for its adoption. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Clerk, please take roll.
All right. Kelly Graff.
Yes.
Jenny Christensen.
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Melanie Cole.
Yes.
Stephen Vigasa.
Yes.
Kirby Anderson.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
All right, thank you. Our reports begin tonight with Amelia Lamar, our curriculum director. Welcome, Amelia. Uh-oh, job
I will
hazard.
survive, it's okay. That's all right.
These meetings are kind of dangerous.
I know, I'm learning here. Thank you for your time here this evening. The focus of this presentation is on K-12 art, music, and Spanish. And this presentation is part of our curriculum review cycle. And the goal is to share current programming as we prepare to replenish our resources necessary to support these programs. Does just one work? Oh,
No,
never
that
mind.
one
Okay,
went.
I just a little slow. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. The Minnesota Academic Standards in the Arts, as well as world languages, guide our instruction to support student learning in music, visual arts, and world language. In the arts, much of the focus is on creating, performing, responding, and connecting. And in Spanish, that focus is more geared toward communication and understanding in 4 primary domains, and those include listening, speaking, reading, and writing. This review focused on evaluating current resources and supply inventories, identifying strengths, and determining future needs. The review included a range of perspectives, but was primarily led by classroom teachers in each of those areas to ensure that their insight was at the forefront of this review. The bulk of materials requested include replenishing standard art and music inventories with supplies such as painting and pottery materials, as well as fixing and upgrading our kiln at the ALC, as well as music supplies including instruments, music, and our lesson books. We will also be renewing our contract with Quaver, which is our elementary music program that we've used for many years. And then we will look at Spanish materials more specifically in a few slides. But first, I will give you a little overview of our music programming. Elementary music focuses on building foundational skills through active participation. Some of these skills include rhythm, pitch, movement, and early instrument use. Students begin playing recorders in 3rd grade, where they continue to build and then apply those skills such as pitch and rhythm. And elementary students hold a concert each spring for parents to attend. Moving up into grades 4 and 5, students continue to expand on those skills. And then they get to also expand on instrument playing with ukulele, xylophones, and drums. Our elementary school and some of our middle school classes, like I just mentioned, use Quaver, which has a wide range of features such as visuals for different types of music notations, rhythms, clapping, different rhythms, music styles, instruments, songs, and so on. It's a really great program and a highly engaging way to learn music. Students have the opportunity to join orchestra starting in 4th grade if they wish. This year we have 111 4th graders in orchestra, and they have the option to continue into 5th grade if they wish. And this year we have 80% of last year's 4th graders who chose to continue this year, and it seems like that percentage is even higher maybe going into next year. In middle school, students have 3 options for music they can choose from, and that includes orchestra, band, or choir. Students who do not select one of these attend a general music class in middle school. A unique aspect about our Fergus Falls music program is that students can choose any combination of those music programs they wish, meaning they do not need to choose just one. And in each of these options, students are now engaging in ensemble work as groups, performances, and deepening their music literacy. And then when you get to high school, students are no longer required to take a music course. However, many of our students do choose to continue with their music careers. In addition to orchestra, band, and choir courses, there are also advanced music courses available, as well as a variety of extracurricular opportunities. As I said, there's a large participation in our high school music courses. There are currently over 300 students who participate in just choir courses across grades 9 through 12, and the numbers for band and orchestra are also quite high, which is great. We like that. One aspect I do really appreciate from our music department is how they work to apply the learning that they are instructing. So there are many different school and community events that these students can participate in to apply their music development, such as touring our elementary school, parades, visits to outside organizations, playing at graduations, the Veterans Day program, and the list can really go on and on. Our music teachers also do a great job at bringing in opportunities such as guest composers, college music programs, so that students also have the opportunity to learn from outside sources as well. And then we will just go into the visual arts side of it. There we go. Art skills grow and develop as students move through each grade. So K2 really emphasizes the foundational skills and the exploration side of art. And by that, they're exploring different mediums, understanding colors, the color wheel, color theory, various textures, and various types of art form. The priority is really to provide varied materials that are very hands-on in learning. So it's much more than just do what I do. While they might be creating the same project and applying the same skills, there's a lot of opportunity for them to also really make it their own as well. All of the pictures that I have throughout this presentation are current student samples as well. So those were really fun to go collect. I would have brought them for you in person, but I would have needed a really big bag. 3rd through 5th grade starts a shift to application and expanding on creativity a little more. These grades start learning more specific concepts such as space, shading, perspective, things like that. And they're also looking at various pieces of art and identifying elements such as lines, styles, colors, and how they add to the piece and where the artist is trying to direct their vision to go in a given piece of art. In middle school, the focus turns to a deeper analysis on technique and personal expression. In 6th grade, they really start to develop and focus on craftsmanship. So a really great example I like to point out is in the top right corner of the presentation, and that is the box layering project. The purpose of this project is to focus on layering using the same medium. In this case, it's cardboard. It is cardboard. They just collect big boxes and That's what they use. It's really, really impressive actually for a bunch of sixth graders, right? And so the whole point is they need to focus on balancing the space and size of each layer and taking into consideration things like the direction of lines, if it's creased or if they want to crease it, and how each layer plays a role in the overall visual without adding additional mediums such as color or other materials. Moving up into 7th and 8th grade, now they really start focusing on specific art techniques in pottery and on different painting techniques. Each student also creates a portfolio where they emphasize and track each of the techniques that they learn throughout their class. Just like music in high school, art students can now select from a wide variety of art courses. And I couldn't put every picture on there, but some of the art pieces they create are incredibly stunning. I saw today they were setting up for the Blondo Arts Festival, and I highly encourage everyone to go take a look if you get a chance. There's some really impressive things in there. The majority of the artwork that are hung up throughout our buildings were created by current or former students. In each of these classes, students are learning to apply knowledge of vocabulary, specific techniques, and processes in whatever their given medium course is. While they're in that time, they're also developing stronger abilities to critically analyze, problem solve, as well as manage time. And they're actively engaging in the creative process with the goal of creating very visually strong and expressive artwork. And again, just like our music department, our art teachers do a spectacular job of giving students opportunities to share and learn art beyond their art classrooms. They visit art museums, exhibitions, participate in their own shows, like I just mentioned the Blondo, different festivals, art competitions. Again, that list could go on and on as well. Then our last kind of background here is on our Spanish programming. Our Spanish program begins in high school and is proficiency based and focuses on real language use rather than just memorization of terms. Students develop skills again in those 4 domains, which include listening, speaking, reading, and writing. They receive explicit grammar instruction and compare the similarities and differences to English. And our Spanish teacher, Mrs. Despard, also works to infuse some of the work they're learning in other classes into Spanish. And that makes the class very relevant and interesting because they can see how it relates to their lives beyond just their Spanish classroom. Her core resource is titled Somos, which is developed specifically for beginner Spanish learners in order to understand and apply grammar, verb conjugations, and overall language building, But her resources do include a blend of materials, including comprehensible input resources. And what that means is listening and reading materials are usually just above where the learner is fluently, so that they can take out the primary message of what they are hearing without having to necessarily know and translate every single word in a sentence. And that is a very common practice in foreign language learning. She also has an online platform, which I'll get to on the next slide, where they can watch videos and see people speaking Spanish as their native language, as well as hearing, to develop their audible listening skills, and that includes stories and as well as music, so they can listen to lyrics and pull out the messages and songs as well. And then on the next slide, you'll see she also does a novel study and has a classroom library. So the online platform that she uses is called Senior Wooly. And this is where students as a class can, again, listen to music, and I mean even just primary nursery rhyme kind of music as well. Stories and videos to reinforce their listening comprehension, which does oftentimes tend to be one of the more difficult skills in learning a foreign language. She also does a very fun classroom novel called El Capibara con Botas, which translates to the capybara with boots. And just like a novel study students might do in another class, they are analyzing grammar, vocabulary, scope and sequence, all the aspects of a story, but in Spanish. And then the last, yeah. Well, there you go. And then I did just want to highlight this piece as well, that she does have a classroom library that was funded by the 544 Foundation. That includes many books, anything from children's books to larger chapter books, written in Spanish that students can check out and read. This is a pretty popular aspect in her classroom and encourages high school students to read outside of school. So not only are they reading for fun, but they're reading in Spanish and developing and applying their Spanish development as well.
Okay, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Because what Jenny said is she read Le Petit Prince in school. So that's actual French literature, not the capybaras wearing boots. So is there any Spanish literature from any country being used in the classroom?
Great question, and in short, I don't know. But if you email me that, I can get you that answer. I would just have to go talk to Senora Despard.
There's so many great writers
Yeah.
from a lot of
They
different
do a lot
countries.
of reading. I just couldn't give you a specific example right now.
Okay. I didn't think of that in light of the...
Okay, it's a good question.
And along with Spanish, do you know why we don't require 2 years of a foreign language anymore
I do
to
not
graduate?
know. I do not know.
That's the legislature.
Yep,
Okay,
it's well beyond our control.
all right.
I took Spanish since second grade all the way through college, so I am just like, everybody should do that. It was so cool, so fun. Anyway, just to wrap up here, continued investment in these programs is essential, including all of the art and music supplies, Quaver, and the Spanish curriculum to ensure those programs remain strong. And it has been an absolute pleasure working with those teachers this year. Their dedication and expertise and passion for what they do is very inspiring, and our students have some pretty incredible opportunities available to them, thanks to those staff and teachers who do that. So, any other questions?
Do you remember any of the Spanish you learned?
C. Any other questions?
No.
Thank you, Ms. Lamar.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We'll continue on with board reports, starting with Kirby Anderson.
So on my finance report, Finance Committee has not met since our last report, but we are scheduled to meet next week. And the 544 Education Committee, because of the calendar, met before our last report and is scheduled to meet on this Thursday. So I don't have a meeting to report on, but a couple of highlights. Just things to keep in mind. The 544 Foundation is working tonight on the senior recognition tonight at 7 o'clock. The retired staff is going to be on May 21st right here in this room. And the spring and summer newsletter just went out into the mail last week, and it highlights 2 of the grants that the foundation has given. By the way, the foundation has been working since 2002 and has enhanced our education to the tune of about $940,000 in that time. So, but one of the grants was for $5,300 to our robotics class to buy 9 robots. And the robotics class has gone from 10 or 15 students now up to or a few years ago to 30 students now. We only had 6 robots, so now we have 14 or 15 robots. And so the students are learning how to use those. Another grant that went out was for the picnic tables. And if you've gone past Kennedy and looked at the main entrance, just to the left of the Circle Drive, you'll see some of the picnic tables that the foundation had contributed money towards, and then our students actually built those picnic tables. I think it was 6 picnic tables, and the grant was for which was it? It doesn't say exactly how much it is, but it does. But it was for the 6 picnic tables. So yeah, 29 grants this last year. So the foundation continues to enhance the quality of our education in our district. So that's my report for tonight.
All right, any questions for Kirby? We'll continue on with Jenny Christensen.
The Building and Grounds Committee has not met, so I do not have a report for you.
All right. As to my board report on Region 1, we had a meeting last month. We talked about personnel matters, kind of dominated the the content of the meeting, there were some shifts, and so we talked through that, and there's going to be some initiatives for team building, as there's been quite a bit of transition at Region 1 with the new director that's been there for about a year.
Oh, yeah.
But still working on it. Region 1's going to add EduTrack for the member districts to coordinate food service stuff. And we were talking again about our E-rate application process and how we're going to manage that. So just business as usual, nothing extraordinary there. Any questions? All right, Kelly Graff.
The Wellness Committee has not met yet. Maybe we'll get one in before the end of the year, I'm not sure. And the staff development met. They have narrowed down the staff development days to November 25th. Joe Beckman is the keynote speaker. And then the last one is the March 5th one. That is going to be 4 60-minute breakout sessions with like reading, training, math, sign language, dyslexia, vision. So that was some things they really wanted to get in there. There will not be, the committee chose to continue with its current members and not have any more members join. And then just use the staff development funding dollars for the staff development requests. And then they are still going to talk about a data float day. They need to discuss some things with Amelia first, and then they'll make a decision on that, and several requests for training. And that was it for that one.
All right. Any questions for Kelly? Missy Hermes.
The policy committee has not met. Looks like we're still working on policies right now, but the Curriculum Review Advisory Committee met on April 20th, and you heard Amelia give a really good report about that. I just wanted to expand a little bit on her report, and just give you an idea of some of the things that are part of that curriculum that they are going to be doing, the expenditures, like fixing the kiln, renewing some of the subscriptions. She mentioned Quaver, which is a music one. We also have an art subscription. I did ask if each one of the teachers, as they reported, I did ask them if they were in compliance with Indian Education for All. How were they incorporating Native American history and culture into their art? And they all were doing their best to do that, and thankful for Berkeley. They mentioned Berkeley Pajari and the work she has done to offer to help with that. And I did also mention, because I've been asked about this before, about dance, which is also one of the fine arts that's supposed to be covered in the arts curriculum. And so there were several teachers who did say that there are different opportunities for dance in the fine arts departments, whether it was music or just in otter time. And then one last thing, I think we need to have a sign. I had not heard this terminology before, but we need to have a sign over at KSS that says Ottertorium. This is the otter.
Are you kidding me?
How has that not been done yet?
I know. Come on.
I proposed that a long time
Come
ago.
on, people.
It's trite, that's why.
Before I'm done with my term as school board,
Okay.
I promise.
Ottertorium. All right.
Wow.
So, yes.
Staring at us in the
Okay.
face the whole time.
Any questions from Ms. Hermes? Okay.
It's embarrassing is what that is.
Stephen Vigasa.
Activities committee has not met, and meet and confer has not met or conferred. So I don't have any reports.
All right. We'll turn then to Superintendent Drake for his report.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
A couple thank yous. Last week we celebrated Teacher Appreciation Week. And Teacher Appreciation Day was last Tuesday, May 5th. So just appreciative of all the work that they do We have until the end of the week on the community survey, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But many people have gone on and just complimented the high quality of teachers that we have in the district, and thankful for all the work that they do. So nice to have an opportunity, a special opportunity to recognize them. And then May 6th of last week was School Nurse Appreciation Day. And so appreciate Jen and her staff for all the work that they do, traveling from building to building and making sure that immunizations are up to date and that students have access to the medications they need, and then just handling all the day-to-day pieces that come before them. So appreciate all the work that they do. Some congratulations. We had another really successful team for the high school Envirothon. Dane Hare, Noah Ibarra, Stella Caldo, Isaiah Ibarra, and Mackenzie Corby placed second at the regional competition, and then they will go on to compete at the state Envirothon on May 18th in Elk River. So congratulations to the students and also to Jen Jensen, their advisor. Also thanks or congratulations to Owen Steffen, who competed at the state adapted bowling tournament. So a really nice job by him, and proud of his successful season. Just a thank you to the cast and crew of Peter Pan Goes Wrong. It was a really wonderful production. I hope people had a chance to see it. If you'll recall, the theme of the one-act play, which earned top honors at state, was really heavy stuff. And this one was very lighthearted and just a wonderful comedy to kind of close out what's been a really great career in theater for a strong graduating group of seniors. So appreciate all their dedication over the years to our productions. And this is kind of a nice arts-focused evening with this report. So we have the Blondo Fine Art Festival. That will debut on Wednesday with the choir concert, and that will be open to the public from 5 to 8. And then there will be another public opportunity to see the artwork the following Wednesday when I believe it's the orchestra does their concert. And so again, invite the public to come in. Each year, I think that has expanded, at least since I've been here, and there are just wonderful opportunities to observe the fantastic art that our students are making. And then the music department has an instrument drive going on right now. So for our community, if you have an instrument that's been sitting in its case, gathering dust for a few years, and you don't think that you're going to make any music out of it in the future, the music department would happily take that donation so that we can ensure all students who have an interest in studying music have access to an instrument to play. Just thanks to the 6th grade teachers for once again making arrangements for the field trip down to the Twin Cities. One of the highlights of that trip is the visit to the state capitol, and so appreciate all that went on into the planning of that event. And the current 2026 legislative session is nearing its wrap-up. Basically has through this coming Sunday to tie up their business this spring, and then some retirement speeches, ceremonial activities a week from today, and then that session will be in the books. Facility projects update. Adams and Cleveland roofs are almost completely done. I guess it's just some trim or tin molding around the outside that has yet to be finished. We'll be doing some work on the Adams parking lot with the asphalt and also into that playground area this summer. The elevator parts are on site at Adams and at Roosevelt for those projects. And then we had a sewer line issue at Adams between the building and the street, and that will be taken care of once school has been let out. And our pool renovation meeting was canceled last week, but I haven't heard anything to lead me to believe it's not going according to plan and on the timeline. So I'll get another update on that on Wednesday. On the 20th, Wednesday, May 20th, from 5 to 6 p.m., right in this space here, we will have a Rural Learning Lab Spring Kickoff Community Forum. That will be hosted by an organization called World Savvy, and they are working with our ALC for the next couple of years, and it's also a partnership with Lakes Country Service Co-op. But they will host a community discussion on the present and future of public education, the kinds of skills that our students need to be acquiring and mastering, and the knowledge they need to have. And so that will be an open invitation to our public, both our students, our parents, our staff, but also our business leaders to come in and have a really interesting conversation about where we're at right now and where we need to head in the future. So I invite everyone to come on the 20th, 5 to 6 p.m. and engage in that conversation. And then, as I alluded to earlier, for our parents and guardians, the feedback survey is out there on customer service. That will close at the end of the day on Friday. But just want to say a word of thanks to those that have already taken time to complete it. It's quite short, but we have 153 responses to date. So hope that that continues to grow between now and the end of this week. And with that, I'll turn it over to any questions.
Did you have a good turnout at your last community?
I did not.
Oh.
I did not, no. Okay. So Mary and I caught up on a few things related to education, so that was it.
Okay. Well, thanks for holding those anyway. Yeah. I know that they have been attended well in the past.
Yeah.
Any other questions for the superintendent? All right.
All right. Thank you.
Jeff. We'll move to the general consent items. For consideration of approval here are the minutes from the April 27th board meeting and the bills and treasurer's report. So what do you have, Steve?
Okay, so for bills, pretty normal month again. You guys have this in your packet. Couple things to note is we had our first payment for Minnesota paid leave of $55,876. That is the employers and the employees' share. So we collected half of that from the employees and half from our coffers and paid it back out to the state. There's something on there called arbitrage, which in school finance, it's basically just we earn too much interest on some of our bonds, and so we are paying that back to the taxpayers to the state. That was only about $9,000, but that's just why that's there. Other than that, everything's pretty normal. We paid $2,400 for that drain pipe by the football field, which just bizarre thing to have happen to somebody. So I'm just glad he wasn't seriously hurt. But anyways, that's part of that cost. Other than that, it's some pretty normal payroll, auto tow coaches, utilities, things like that. Treasurer's report, there was a slight increase of fund balance from year to year, but we do have a lot of bills coming up, as Superintendent Drake had outlined a few projects for the summer that we can't get started till kids are out of the schools. And we have so I anticipate that to decrease, a good chunk of that to decrease over the next few months. So that's all I got.
All right, thank you. Under personnel, we have a certified staff separation. Peter Phillips, social studies teacher at the ALC. At the end of the school year, support staff hire Sandra Richards, special ed professional. Support staff transfer Amanda Graves Fellbaum, temporary transfer from ECFE to assistant noon hour supervisor. Support staff retirement, Lisa Barker, head custodian at McKinley. Support staff separations, Maggie Torgerson, noon hour supervisor, and Teresa Hersberg, special ed paraprofessional. So with that, is there a motion to approve the general consent items?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion on these items? Hearing none, all in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That is approved. We will move on to new business, and I will seek a motion for an agreement with Lakes Country Service Cooperative in the amount of $37,590 for direct mental health supports to students from July 1st of 2026 to June 30th of 2027. Go ahead.
So moved.
All right, and a second?
Second. Oh, Missy.
Okay, Missy's got that. Any questions about that? All right. All in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. The next item is a motion to approve the purchase of a service agreement for the transportation of children and youth in foster care placement, which would become effective on July 1st of 2026. Would someone offer that?
I'll offer that motion.
All right, and a second to that?
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right. Looking for a motion to approve the 2026-2028 contract between the school district and the Fergus Falls Food Service Association, which would begin on July 1st. Would someone?
I'll make that motion.
All right, and a second.
Second.
Any discussion?
I just want everyone to know what a great group that is to negotiate with, and we're just very thankful for them and the work that they do in our schools.
Awesome, thank you. Any other comments or?
Who was on that team? You and?
Just me and Jeff.
Okay.
And, well, Renee too,
Renee,
sorry.
okay, good.
Not just.
Thank you.
Okay. All in favor of approving the contract, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. The next item before us is a motion for a 3-year renewal quote for frontline absence management and applicant tracking system, and this would be in the amount of $51,955. Will someone make that motion?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That's approved. We have received information about a reorganization of custodial staff, which would add a new custodial supervisor at Kennedy and at Kennedy/Roosevelt. So that would be one full-time equivalent to be posted internally, and then a reassignment of 2 head custodians. That would also add 1 custodian to Roosevelt. So a few different pieces there. Would someone offer that motion?
So moved.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right, that is approved. Looking for a motion to hire a .6 full-time equivalent. Remind me on ASD?
Autism spectrum disorder.
Yeah, certified staff person for district-wide, effective for the next school year. Will someone make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? Any discussion? All in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. It is approved. We have a resolution placing a continuing contract or tenured teacher on unrequested leave of absence upon the acquiescence of such placement. Whereas the School Board of Independent School District 544 adopted a resolution proposing placement of and then insert their teacher name, on unrequested leave of absence on April 13th, 2026 on the grounds of financial limitations. Whereas said written notice of the proposed placement on unrequested leave of absence was mailed to each teacher name that was on the list by certified mail on April 14th, 2026. And whereas said written notice of the proposed placement on unrequested leave of absence contained a statement setting forth the reasons for the proposed placement, as well as a statement that he or she was entitled to a hearing before the school board, provided he or she make a request in writing within 14 days of receipt of said notice, and that if no hearing was requested within said 14-day period, it constituted acquiescence by fill-in teacher name that was on the list to the school board's proposed action. And whereas no written request for a hearing was received by the school board or superintendent from any of the teachers who are named on the list as of April 30th, 2026, and whereas said failure to make a written request for a hearing within 14 days after the receipt of notice of proposed placement on unrequested leave of absence constitutes acquiescence by each of these teachers who are named on the list to said placement on unrequested leave of absence, be it hereby resolved by the School Board of Independent School District number 544 that each of these teachers named on that list be and hereby is placed on unrequested leave of absence as a teacher of Independent School District number 544 on the grounds of financial limitations at the end of the 25-26 school year, effective June 30th, 2026, in accordance with the District Master Agreement and pursuant to Minnesota Statute 122A.40 Subdivision 10, without pay or fringe benefits. Be it further resolved that a notice of placement on unrequested leave, together with a copy of this resolution, be forwarded to said teacher personally, and that an affidavit of the same will be placed in his or her personnel file, together with a copy of the notice and resolution. And it reads like this. Notice of placement of unrequested leave of absence upon acquiescence of placement. Dear Mr. Ms. Named on the list, you are hereby notified that at a meeting of the School Board of Independent District number 544 held on May 11th, 2026, a resolution was adopted by a majority roll call vote of the full membership of the school board, placing you on unrequested leave of absence for whatever the appropriate amount of time of their full-time equivalent position as a teacher of Independent School District number 544 on the grounds of financial limitations at the end of the 26-27 school year, effective June 30th, 2026, according to the District Master Agreement and pursuant to Minnesota Statute 122A.40 Subdivision 10, without pay or fringe benefits. For the reinstatement process, please refer to the District Master Agreement, Article 14, Unrequested Leave of Absence. A copy of the resolution duly adopted by the school board is attached hereto for your information. Please keep the HR director advised in writing of your address at all times until your reinstatement rights have expired, so that the district may notify you of any available positions for which we may qualify. Sincerely, Missy Hermes, Clerk, School Board, Independent District number 544. The names that are on this list, as was referenced, include Claire Gauthier, Lori McNally, Mariah Minkinen, Heather Schrader, Ann Sco, and Lisa Tyson. These are each for less than one position. Well, this isn't on the resolution anymore, but these are all less than one position, and all of our IQ staff, which is according to the enrollment data. So with that, will someone offer that resolution and move it for its adoption? I will. I'll offer that resolution and move for its adoption.
And I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. Discussion on these items? Anything about it?
No, the normal course of that is that they, I don't know if it's the same people, but we end up increasing workload by the end of the year because IQ attendance usually starts low and ends high as the year goes on. So it's just a normal flow of how things go.
Right. Anything further? Clerk, please take roll.
Okay. Jenny Christensen?
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Melanie Cole?
Yes.
Stephen Vigasa?
Yes.
Kirby Anderson?
Yes.
Kelly Graff?
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
All right. The next item of business is seeking an approval for the art, music, and Spanish curriculum for the 26-27 school year.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. On to our next item of business, a resolution on the retirement of Lisa Barker. Whereas Lisa Barker began her employment with Fergus Falls Public Schools in December 1990, whereas Lisa has been a valued employee with Fergus Falls Public Schools for the past 36 years, and whereas Lisa has been a dedicated head custodian for the district, and now therefore be it resolved by Fergus Falls School Board to thank Lisa for her 36 years of service to Fergus Falls Public Schools. Will someone offer that?
I'll offer that resolution and move for its adoption.
All right, thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion? Best wishes, Lisa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and clerk, will you please take roll?
Yes. Stephen Vigasa?
Wow, I'm first. Yes.
Kirby Anderson?
Yes.
Kelly Graff?
Yes.
Jenny Christensen?
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Melanie Cole?
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
Very good. We have concluded tonight's agenda. The school board members will stick around for a work session and talk about 2026 graduation and more discussion on policy. Please note that now that we are reaching the conclusion of the school year, our meetings will be at 7:15 in the Otter Community Room at Kennedy Secondary School, but still on the same schedule of twice per month, the second and fourth
And that would be
Monday.
AM.
That's 7:15 a.m., that's correct. All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any, all in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
All right, by unanimous vote, we are adjourned. Thank you.